Well, we will open up with the general question, which is a concern for health, humanity, and its future. So let us understand the enemy, that is air pollution. And for clean air is a human right as we seek. So how do sources of harmful indoor and outdoor air pollutants vary across urban, industrial, and rural settings? Can real-time monitoring help mitigate these risks? Can we have your view, Dr. Khushboo, first?
So we are so aware that pollution has different sources, and also the major concern is that different sectors have different pollution, and also different settings have different kind of pollution that is emitting. Right. So, for example, in urban spaces, if we see vehicular emission, road dust, construction, waste burning, and biomass are the major sources that we have been seeing. Similarly, for industries, factories like brick lanes, power plants, etc., from cement, steel, these are the major issues that we have been seeing in Hindu Kush Himalayan region, especially the South Asia. Similarly, for rural, when we talk about in this setting, the major sources are biomass burning, crop residue burning, and household waste burning, including stubble fires. So, and also talking about mountain region, transported pollution, including local emissions and wildfires are the major sources that we have been seen. And when talking about indoor air pollution, biomass, cook stove, kerosene, lamps, VOCs, which we have been discussing since the session. So these are the major sources indoor, outdoor that we have been seeing in different settings. So how this real-time monitoring can help this sources from different settings is like we can detect spikes, advisory traffic restrictions, cleaner fuel adoptions can be done, construction controls can be done. Like Ajay Nagpure sir very mentioned that he did a good project on construction waste issues, and also Sandeep Nagar sir, he's also working on construction. So if we have a monitoring data, we can at least get a concentration of pollutant that is coming, and how that can be solved can be interpreted and managed. We know that seasonal alters support communities mitigation, like improved cook stoves can be done, improved heating systems can be applied according to the, if we have monitoring of the rural settings also, we can know what are the major issues that are coming up, and according to that, we can work on the solution and further improvements. So talking about high altitude mountains, it's like monitoring reveals us that the pollution is not only local, but it is also transported. That's why we call it's a transboundary issue, and air respects no boundary as such.
Thank you for your insights, Dr. Khushboo. What is your take, Mr. Sandeep Narang, on this?
We saw the COVID and lockdown. I live in Delhi. During the lockdown, the Delhi air was back to AQI 50. So whenever that was the clear indication what's polluting our air. Very clear indication that automobile emissions, municipal solid, everything is stopped. So it's we who are polluting our air. No comforting words for anyone, for industry owners or anyone. It's we who are doing this, and we have to get down. Ajay bhai was very adept in showcasing what India needs. India needs its own solutions. We need our own solution. Nobody from outside India can come and teach us what to do. This is my final word.
Thank you very much for that point. Dr. Amit, what is your say about this?
I will not talk about much sources because Dr. Khushboo has already elaborately defined about the sources. But I think this is very important for regulatory compliance also. Because we don't know how much industries are emitting, how much pollution is being generated from, like Dr. Narang sir and Dr. Ajay has already worked on construction sites, and how much construction emissions are happening. So that's why monitoring, I feel, is very important to set a base, and then so we can understand what are the solutions that we can provide on a short-term basis and on a long-term basis. So I think this is, and it can't be possible without the support of government. Because government support is very important to even install, if you want to install a sensor at any instrument at one place. So this is here, I think it's bringing the important aspects, and also like Narang sir has talked about COVID-19, no, and it was already defined that COVID-19 was being dispersed from the PM 2.5 or size lesser particles. No, it was airborne. Right? So that is who, if we don't monitor, so we're not able to detect also how much concentration we have and how we can safeguard our spaces where we are living 24/7. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Amit, regulatory phenomena is more important that's coming out. What is your take on that?
So regulatory, I think is very important because as we think about the regulation, like there are all standards given by the government for industries, for the even for specifically you say about technology DG sets. So for vehicular emissions, we all have standards, but that's why when we don't monitor, so it's very difficult to even understand also we are matching the regulatory norms or we are not matching. Simple, we now talk about the pollution under control certificate for the vehicles. Many times in our in streets we see there are vehicles who are more than 10 years or 15 years that are running on the streets, and they are even emitting black smoke. I have observed many times they're emitting black smoke and it's clearly visible, but still we are not doing anything. I mean, I'm not, but still, there is something that regulation can be strictened to understand or to combat such problems, so that many, I think,
Definitely.
significant pollution can be improved with this.
Definitely. Dr. Ajay, what would you like to share?
So I think data is very important, and another important thing, like for like another, like we need to keep asking question. Data is important but for what? For whom? So data is important. If it is only for the research purpose and other thing, that's fine. But the current objective is to make people aware about the air pollution. I think we need to, the data is important, but another most important thing that we need to translate that data into the, that the public can understand it. And also, I think that when we have the data for the people, I think there are many funders who are providing the data, but all the data they are hidden somewhere in behind the wall. I think there should be a open access data, so anybody can understand accesses. Another important is anybody can understand it. That's very important. And another, as you asked, like about the sources. So sources varies, according to the region. So, for example, if I talk about the cities, so in cities, transportation is the one of the leading source of the air pollution. But another important thing now emerging during last 1 decade is the construction and the dust from the prior year of the traffic. But if you just increase the boundaries, if you go to the national level, the major source is the household cooking, and even the northern India. So sources varies according to the region. So for each region we need to have a different mitigation solution. Yeah, that's it from my side.
Correct. For different regions need different equipment and different monitoring system. What is your take on this, Mr. Rouble?
Yeah, I think my scholar panelists have already touched upon the factors which influence and then how to go about on a larger scale when we are talking about the outdoor air. But I think a very relevant point Mr. Sandeep has pointed out that during the COVID time, everybody was talking about air. Why? Because WHO has stated that it's going to be airborne. It's an airborne thing. Now we are sitting inside a room. Everyone was, asked to sit inside a room for, such a long period of time. So I think when we are talking about a carrier, so particulate matter is a carrier at that point in time, and the virus stick onto that, and then it is transferred to the other people, and it exploded like millions and billions of people have got affected, and how much losses in the terms of economy, people, health, everything that we have faced. So starting from the larger domain on the policy level, when we are talking about a global change or probably an India-centric change, we have to talk about the immediate solution, which is indoors. And I think this is something that we are communicating to everyone, that indoors can be such a polluted place, even on a good day. When the AQI outside is 50, it can be, 250 inside. So the first part is very relevant, that's monitoring. We have to monitor where we're sitting, where we're going to be spending 80 to 90% of the time. So that's point one. And the point two is, what are we breathing in? If you're monitoring it, what is the right set of solution? And probably for that reason, I think we have to see that what we are looking into and what kind of the right filtration solution, or probably the immediate thing that we can do. I think rest of the point has been very much covered by the gentleman and the ma'am in the group. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Rouble. While you were presenting, you raised the question about the awareness raising, and you were very much particular about the PM1. And there is a question also from one of the attendees, that is Dr. Ravikant Mishra. He's asking, can the government install such filters at public places because human matters most?
So we have a saying internally at Camfil. So PM1 stands for People Matter First. So I have a coffee mug which says that. So PM1 stands for People Matter First here at Camfil. So you know what? So about building the information, which has to be communicated to the market, which is trustworthy, so that people can get healthier decisions for themselves.
Yeah, thank you very much for the information you shared just now. Dr. Khushboo, coming to you, you were talking about anthropogenic sources, photochemicals, and black carbons, as well as net zero emission energy, which Mr. Sandeep also touched upon. So, and you presented a lot of data in your presentation. Air pollution data is abundant, Dr. Khushboo, but it is often underutilized. So how can we bridge the gap between environmental data collection, public awareness, and action? Mr. Sandeep Narang, next, you have to answer about the gaps. Dr. Khushboo.
Thank you for the question. Firstly, I am not sure if I should agree with that. We have a plenty of data. But yeah, as Ajay Nagpure sir mentioned in his talk, that no data or no information is available from different sectors. And there is no data available from different mountain regions, right? So we have data, but the data is mostly centered around cities and also around the lowland plains. But if we look at the picture, high altitude mountains doesn't have any specific data available. But somehow we see the transboundary effect that is affecting glaciers when we talk about black carbon. So the major issue could be local emissions that we are getting, also some that is being transported. So for that, monitoring is important, and data is scarce in few parts of the region. Like the studies that I mentioned, Sikkim Himalaya is a very separate, it's a tourist space where most of the tourism is a booming activity over there, but somehow we don't have any focus studies when we talk about black carbon. So few studies that I mentioned today was scarce studies that was available in Sikkim Himalaya. So similarly, there are very few studies that are available in the Himalaya. So when we talk about how we can bridge this gap, so
I'm not against data, but we are for the action at ground that should happen. I will stop here. Thank you.
That's a very glaring example you have given. Coming to Dr. Ajay. Hello.
Yes. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
please go on.
if you add Mr. Sandeep Narang answer and Dr. Khushboo Sharma answer, so you will get the picture, holistic picture. So one city, Delhi, it's having a multi monitoring system, but the mountain region or the remote area, they are missing a single monitoring station. So we need to that we need to define our threshold. I'm not against the data, but the thing is that, for example, Delhi, like as Mr. Narang said, like if Delhi has a 15 monitoring station, we are definitely using it. Like for what purpose? Are we utilizing that data? If we'll make it 200 monitoring station, are we going to do a hyper local solution at that level? So we are currently in a phase where we have to develop a city level strategy. We'll go at the neighborhood level after some time. So I feel that the current situation, we need to just fill the data gap in the area where there is no data available. like that mountain region or the remote area. That's one thing. Instead of putting like thousands of sensors in Delhi and nothing is happening. So it's strategically, we are not against the data, but we have to have a strategic approach where we can make some sense on the ground. So that's what I feel.
Correct. So we are running short of the time. So one quick liner answer I need for a question. The air pollutant is our enemy. What should we plan for the next 5 years for a sustainable and breathable future? Dr. Amit, to start with.
So I think like you mentioned, air pollution is our enemy. So what we should start for long 5 years? I think first thing we should start with, I think, for ourselves. If we like the community engagement and their behavior change is very important, because most of the time we are polluting and we blame government. The government is not doing this, government is not doing that. Because I have experience working in academician and I am from past 3 years working with government and with different municipal corporation. I think this is Gorakhpur is my 4th municipal corporation I'm working with. So they do their efforts. I have seen IS officers, they really care about and they really put their efforts to combat the things. But on ground, what has happened is people are not able to ready to change.
Yes, people should change their attitudes. Dr.
Yes.
Khushboo. Dr. Khushboo, one liner, please.
Yeah, thank you. Not just one line, I would like to mention 4 points specifically. So one would be the strengthening data and evidence, that is very important. Another would be empowering committee and building capacity to understand the data, and also amplifying regulatory capacity and accountability. And the fourth one would be fostering science dialogues and cross-border networking. I think these are the points that needs to be focused in the coming time. Thank you.
That's fine. Thank you very much. Mr. Rouble.
So want to summarize with just one line. I think it starts with home. It starts at home. Anything and everything. If you want to create a change, it starts at home. So see what you are breathing, see what you are creating. Just 2 things. That's all.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Last statement from Mr. Narang.
So before talking or setting net zero carbon goals for the country, for the city, set for your home. So am I sitting at a 26-degree air conditioner, not using light if it's not necessary, not using plastic? So first make your own self net zero, your family, your community, your city, then only you will be able to reach a net zero. Then dream of net zero. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you
Thank you very much, all the panelists. We had